Welcome back. This is Theresa Callard-Moore reading BridgeIT, the Integrative Medicine Approach to the Healthcare Crisis in the United States. We're on to chapter 14. A little bit of a history lesson here, but I'm trying to explain how we got to this level of healthcare that we have now and how our self-nurturing fits in. So this chapter is called Back to the Future, from the movie Back to the Future. So how does this affect our healthcare system? I won't bore you with a long history lesson, but if we think back to high school, U.S. history and world history, the success of the 19th century in surviving famine, disease, poverty during the Industrial Revolution, we see a shift from the values that we had. We moved from survival to nationalism to freedom. We fought for freedom from poverty, slavery, persecution, and oppression. The rise of capitalism and the development of our economy, along with the scientific advancements, gave us cures and preventions from disease, which ultimately gave us more hope and freedom. As a part of that movement was the development of health insurance programs. It was an important attempt to provide fair access to all and regulate the cost of health care. Much like labor unions, health insurance offered a way to balance the drive for profits and help to increase community health and wellness. The pharmaceutical companies that were created were essential to this community health process and saved many lives as well. All of these important developments and freedoms left us in the United States available to pursue our happiness and the American dream. Most of those fears about survival were replaced with the pursuit of wealth and success. We didn't need to focus on self-care as much because the responsibility and self-nurturing as our health shifted from self to others. If we got sick, we turned to doctors, hospitals, and medications to fix it. I'm going to say that one again. One, because I messed it up, but two, it's bold in the book because it's an important piece. We didn't need to focus on self-care as much because the responsibility and self-nurturing as our health shifted from self to others. If we got sick, we turned to our doctors, hospitals, and medications to fix it. What value is that? Where did self-nurturing go? How do we let go of our power over ourselves and our family? It's understandable, and there's no bad guy here, but we must consistently seek balance in the system. We need all of those developments to happen. However, much like I say to my clients, the coping skills that got you through your childhood are not usually the best ones to handle the problems as an adult. We need to put our health back in our hands. Let's look at the values that might be present and vice president in self-nurturing to see if we can get some insight in the shift in our health. When a businessman looking for a promotion is struggling for abundance and achievement, he's not wanting to spend money on going to the doctor for a physical or illness. He has to go to that marketing meeting at 9 and attend that dinner with a client that socially expects him to drink alcohol. When the single mother is striving for balance and has to choose to pay for no cleats for her daughter or pay rent for the month, she's going to choose the least expensive foods so she can feed the whole family. The grandma who's babysitting her grandson will give him a sugary cereal and a treat for breakfast because she's coming from a place of caring and wants him to have happiness. When the government wants to offer national health care, many Americans came from our roots of freedom and independence, and we feel like we have the right to choose and have the best health care possible. We trust that same government can offer us security that all of our food is reviewed by the FDA and considered to be safe to consume. All these values are right and they make sense. But wait, if we focus on self-nurturing all the time, wouldn't that be narcissistic or something? And if we put all of our faith in others, wouldn't we be in denial and put us all in a position to be manipulated, dependent, and controlled? Let me say that one again too. And if we put all of our faith in others, wouldn't we be in denial and be put in a position to be manipulated, dependent, and controlled? Where does our freedom begin and end? And where does denial begin and end? I'm not sure the answer for each person, but we find the line of it very quickly when we're diagnosed with a serious illness or injury, or now faced with what we're faced in 2020. At the moment, Our freedom is restricted, and we are forced into self-nurturing and in the role of the medical arena, which can be overwhelming, confusing, and always expensive. The number one recommendation for the virus that's going on in 2020 is self-care, right? That's what every news station is saying. Wouldn't it be accurate that we are operating most of the time on a teeter-totter of freedom and health crisis, hoping we can stay in freedom to work, play, relax, eat, and enjoy life until we're so sick that we can't anymore? This is the end of that chapter, and it's a really powerful one. That last paragraph pretty much sums it up, that we've been out of balance in our healthcare system for a really long time, not just now in 2020. Now it's right in the forefront. But we've been in this kind of dynamic, this teeter-totter, for a long time. Like I said, I came up with these ideas in 2009 when we were looking at the Affordable Health Care Act. So again, I'm asking you, what do you want to see here? How do you want this to go? How can we balance this back out where we have self-care as the primary health care, and then we turn to our doctors and hospitals for the acute things that we might need? How can we blend integrative medicine together, the eastern side of things and the western side of things? That's what I want to find out and talk to you about. So thanks for listening. If you like what we're doing, feel free to give me a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm really glad you're reading this book with me, and I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts. Thanks.